I'm Russ Reed. The second part of the message at Redeemer was also from the Gospel of John, and it was on the washing of the disciples' feet by Jesus. We start out by watching the video, The Making of 24 Feet, and I conclude with a short sermon. Now we're going to watch a video of the making of 24 feet.
He had to wash me before I could not see. I couldn't see me like he does, or believe in his love. But he has all power. He does what he wants to. He wants to show you his love. So just let him wash you, and I have nothing to offer, my King. I'm known to stumble, I'm known to fall. What could he hope to gain from someone like me? I never change at all. The skin beneath my chains was calloused. I was filthy from head to toe. I had heard that he knew and he loved me, but some people need to be shown. He had to wash me before I could not see. I couldn't see me like he does, or believe in his love. But he has all power. He does what he wants to. He wants to show you his love. So just let him wash you. He washed the one who he knew would betray him. He washed him with his own hands. He washed the one who that night would deny him. He knew they wouldn't understand. He washes all still today who will let him. Even skeptics like us. Not so we could somehow remain clean, but so we could remain in his love. He had to wash me before I could not see. I couldn't see me like he does, or believe in his love. But he has all power. He does what he wants to. He wants to show you his love. So just let him wash you.
That's moving to me. That's my Sunday school class. I told them, this will only take a few minutes. You'll get to the worship service in plenty of time. They did not. Two of those, it's powerful to me. Two of those are already with the Lord. And as we sang earlier, I believe they're with the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders in the throne room singing, holy, holy, holy to the Lord already. So in John chapter 13, we learn about this scene. This happened at the Passover meal. Jesus got up during the meal, took off his outer robe, wrapped a towel around his waist. He poured water into a basin, and he began to wash the disciples' feet, all 12 of the disciples. He also dried their feet with that towel. When he got to Peter, Peter initially refused this offer. And then Christ replied, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. So when I was younger, I was the benefit of taking 10 years of piano lessons. Once my parents had a piano tuner come over to tune our piano. I knew I probably wouldn't be a concert pianist as a career, but I was thinking when I watched him, maybe a piano tuner. So I mentioned it to him, and he asked me, do you like doing one thing and then moving on to the next different thing? Or do you like doing the very same thing over and over and over and over? And that didn't take long. I said, no, I like doing things that are different, very different. He said, yeah, this is not for you. I tune one piano string, and then I use it to tune another one, and I use it to tune another one, and I do it over and over and over. I thought, he's right. That is not for me. So I thought about that while I was painting the 24 feet. 24 feet. Each foot has 5 toes. Do some quick arithmetic. That's 120 toes. There are more toes in that room and on that painting than there are strings on your piano. And at one point I thought to myself, what have you gotten yourself into here? And the point here is that Jesus washed all 24 of those feet with all 120 of those toes. And I believe it took some time because Jesus did a masterful job at washing those feet. I think we have to talk just for a minute about Judas. It is clear Judas was in that room. He didn't leave until a bit later. It's extraordinary to me knowing what Jesus knew, that he washed his betrayer's feet. He served the one who would betray him. Why didn't he just dismiss Judas a little earlier? I don't know. I can only speculate. And to be honest, that speculation leads to more questions. I just don't know. But we have to talk about Peter. Why did Peter initially refuse? A good question might be, what did Peter know and when did he know it? I think a lot of credit should go to Peter for being able to read the room. He saw what was about to happen. He knew who it was that was getting ready to wash his feet. He could see him on the floor. And he was mortified. And rightly so. There's a poet in England named Malcolm Guite. He works at Cambridge. And he wrote a book, Sounding the Seasons, Sonnets for the Seasons. One of those is called Maundy Thursday. It's about this scene. And on line 9, Malcolm writes, the God of love is kneeling at our feet. Can you imagine? What I want to know is why in the world the other disciples didn't have the decency to object and help this God of love to his feet. And then Jesus tells Peter, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. And with Peter, we realize our mistake. I want to conclude with a quote I found recently from a very famous scientist who peered deeply into the structure of that atomic world and who was also a devoted disciple of Jesus. Werner Heisenberg wrote, "When taking a sip from the natural sciences, a person becomes an atheist. But at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for them." I feel like that's a little of what I'm doing here, drinking deeply from these scriptures and these texts and portraying them in a way that resonates with us today. I have found that at the bottom of these stories, God is waiting for us. So please take this away with you today. Shortly after that scene, when he washed those 24 feet, his time did come. He was beaten, he was crucified, he was buried, and he rose again on the third day. The good news is this: the one who transformed that simple water from its essential nature to this amazing wine can transform you too into a completely new creation if you'll put your faith in him. Thank you.